a more advanced version of the stool design if you want to do, if you're ready for some new features and and you've already had an introduction to Fusion 360. Here it goes. I'm going to design that same stool, but I'm going to do it exactly how I did it for the one how I should have done it for the stool that we did in our shop. Okay, so I'm going to start by creating a sketch on a plane. I'm going to do the circle first, the center, the seat first. This will get everything oriented around the origin. I'm going to go D for dimension and make that circle be 12 inches. Sorry, computer's a little slow. And then we're going to extrude it to a thickness of 0.75. All right, so we've got our seat. Now I'm going to design our legs. So I'm going to start a sketch on a vertical plane. Now, once we're in this vertical plane, we don't have all this geometry in the right spot. So I'm going to include it by going to P for Project Include, and then I'm going to click on this object and then click OK. That gives me a rectangle that represents that shape. And Project Include is often something you need to start with when you're designing from a sketch that is incorporating previous geometry that you created. So now we have that rectangle. Even if I were to turn off the seat, which I should label, even if I were to turn that off with the eyeball, then I would have still have that rectangle. Now I'm going to draw my leg structure. I'm going to go L for line. I'm going to start from the origin. I'm going to go out beyond where I need to go. And then I'm going to go down, straight down, doesn't matter where. Ooh, sorry, my computer is slow. And then I'm going to go over and up at an angle, and then flat. And I'm going to deliberately mess some stuff up so that we can show you some connections on here, or some constraints. So I want to make this one horizontal vertical. So I'm going to click on my horizontal vertical command, and I'm going to click on that line like that. Then I'm going to make this dimension here be 1.25, as I decided to do in our design. Oops. And then I'm going to make this line be 15 inches over here. And then I'm going to make this line just as big as my radius plus a little bit. So I'm going to go 6.25 to go just barely beyond the edge of the stool. And then I'm going to do this dimension here. Click, D for dimension, click, click, click. And that should be 2 inches. And then this dimension here, click, 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 2 inches as well. All right, we have a line right here where we made our connection, so I'm going to make this miter cut in this piece as well. And I think that's all the geometry I should add in here. Now I'm going to go E for extrude and extrude these at separate times. So I'm going to do this one first, 1.25, and then not a join, but a new body, and OK. And then if I orbit a little bit, you can see my my sketch turned off, so I'm going to go back and turn on my sketch again. And then E for extrude, this one, 1.25, and not join, but new body as well. All right, now we've got that shape. I'm going to turn off that sketch now. We don't need that anymore. And next, I'm going to fix this corner up here. So I'm going to I'm going to start a sketch on this surface right here. Start a sketch. It doesn't really matter what you do. Yeah, no, it should be on this surface right here. And then I'm going to turn off my seat. Now this allows me to draw the angle that we're going to do when we copy this around. I might get this wrong, but we'll try the first time. L for line, and I'm going to draw from the origin out at a slight angle, and then over to this point right here. And now I have this triangle here. I want to make sure that this little line right here is horizontal vertical. And I want to make sure that this angle here, D for dimension, click, click. This here should be 30 degrees. Like so. Now I'm going to go E for extrude. I'm going to click on this guy right here, and I'm going to make it, oops, let's click on our home button again to get to a good view. I'm going to go down -2 and connect that. Is it working? -2, and we'll do a join command as long as it doesn't join to the seat as well, which is off right now, so it should work. So when I turn the seat back on, I have a seat up there, and I have my parts. Now I'm going to add some of the actual joinery into this. So in this, we cut a groove, and we put in an extra little piece here, and this is going to be helpful to put right in the middle. So I'm going to go to construct down here, the downward drop down, and do a midplane. A midplane allows me to draw between two sides of something. So I'm going to click here and orbit to the other side and click here. And then now I have a plane right in the middle of those. Click OK. I'm going to start a sketch on that plane in the middle of my leg. And I'm going to draw a triangle that represents that curve. First, I need to project include, that's create, project include, project, or shortcut P, this geometry. So I'm going to include this shape and this shape. Now I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to do L for line to draw from this point up here to this point down here. And this line should be equal distances on both sides. So I'm going to do a 45 degree by clicking on this and this. Is that going to work? Yeah, this should be at 45 degrees. And then the depth of this cut, I remember, was 2¼ inches. So I'm going to go click, 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 and let's go 2.25. And enter. All right, now I'm going to create this spline in the curve by clicking Finish Sketch. I'm going to label my frame and my leg so I know what I'm cutting, and I'm going to turn them off for a second. And I'm going to go E for extrude, or create extrude, and click on this and this, and do a symmetric, two sides symmetric, that's just called symmetric extrusion, where the full dimension of the thing, not the half dimension, is 0.5. And I'm going to say that's a new body. Now I'm going to turn on my leg, frame, and seat again, and I'm going to cut the hole now, because if I turn off my spline, which I should label over here, if I turn off my spline, there's no hole that it's inhabiting right now. It's just part of the leg. So I'm going to go to modify, combine, and do what's called a Boolean, where you combine things or add them together or subtract things. And I'm going to cut this body using my spline as a tool, and you can select it over in your thing so you don't have to struggle with clicking on the right thing. And I want to keep the tool. I don't want the spline to disappear. And then I'm going to do that again. Combine, cut, and I'm going to cut the leg using the spline as a tool and keep the tool. And OK. All right. I think that's exactly what we actually built, as far as I can remember. Now I'm going to turn the seat off, and I'm going to rotate around the middle, the 3 legs. So I'm going to go to create pattern, circular pattern. I'm going to copy all of these things, bodies, not the seat, sorry, not the seat. We don't want to select that, so I'm going to X out that one. I want the frame, the leg, and the spline to copy around an axis. And the axis I want to select is right here. And let's see how that looks. Oh, I did it right. Great. The 30 degrees was going the right direction. Okay, and we'll click OK. Now, if you made anything incorrectly, always go back and find the feature here and right-click on the feature whenever possible to keep your design simple. Let's say I wanted to make the leg slightly taller now. Don't just add to the leg. Go back and figure out where you drew the leg, which is right here. Right-click on it, edit the sketch, and then I could change my 15 inches over here to be 15 and a half if I wanted, and it would all update. Sometimes it creates problems, and you got to fix those problems, but it's best design practice to update your design as you go like that. All right, that didn't cause a problem this time. Last thing I want to do is show those how the seat engraved, or how the legs sort of are let into the seat or engraved into the seat a little bit. So I'm going to go to actually two more things I want to do. So I'm going to put the seat on again with the eyeball, and I'm going to move the seat down a little bit where it actually would be. M for move copy. Click on the seat. I would do a translate command here to be careful and just go straight up and down. Orbit so you can really tell which arrow is which. Click on the arrow and go minus 0.15, I think is what I did. And then click OK. Now, they don't have the grooves cut yet, so we're going to go to Modify, Combine. And I'm going to cut this, the seat, using the frames as tools. And I'm going to keep the tools and click OK. And now, when we turn off all these frames and all these legs and stuff, you see that there is that groove there. Ooh, I forgot to add the spline. The spline, I needed to cut with the spline as well. See how that little notch is still there? So I'm going to turn these back on. I'm going to go back in time to what I just did. Right-click on that command, edit feature, and also select my splines. Here, spline, spline, and spline. And then that should actually cut the groove everywhere. Okay. So one more advanced thing that you may have learned already in my classes, or you might need to learn now, is that we need to flatten all these pieces if we want to look at them and create them. So I'm going to go to first create components from bodies. I'm going to right-click on my bodies command, create components from bodies. Now they all show up down here. And now I'm going to lay them flat by going to modify and arrange. I'm going to arrange all my parts as if I were to manufacture them. I'm going to put the seat facing upside down so I can see the interesting stuff on the bottom. So that one goes that way. This one I want to have the angle facing up, so I'm going to select here, and then this angle, I'm going to do this one facing up. And then I'm going to do this one facing up. And then it doesn't really matter where my legs are facing, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. And then if I wanted to put my splines in there too, I would probably turn off my frames for a second. Frame 1, frame 2, and frame 3. And then I can select the splines there too. 1, 2. Oops, did I get the wrong thing there? I think that was right. We'll see. And then this one here, 3. Okay. Now I can fix that in a second because right now I'm going to go back to my home view and I'm going to select my envelope. Envelope is going to be on this this plane right here, and I'm going to give myself a length of 10, or a length of, sorry, need at least 17 probably, or 16, and then I need a width of, let's try 48. And let's see if all those fit in that space. We're missing our frames. Oh, right, because they're not on right now. 1, 2, 3. Okay, looks like we can fit these a little bit tighter, so I'm going to give it a little less room and try 30. And that looks much better. Looks like a nice design in there. And I have an object spacing of 1 inch. That's for CNC manufacturing. And I have a 1/4 inch for the frame width, which you could change as well. All right, that's it for now. Show me what you designed or the design that, that I created by taking a screenshot. Oh.